Every day there are issues happening around us that tend to shift our lives. However, I need to address those issues and their impacts. I talk to watching this political, social, economic, and developmental issues that are done for you. Incredible lessons as well as reports from across other countries. Most Desmond ground for more societies. Everyone to succeed. Here, 95.9 FM. You're not missing. Another Thursday afternoon in the nation's capital, Monrovia. We are grateful to be here again for another wonderful presentation of the program. Liberia on Care Radio 95.9. Of course, we are grateful that it is another Thursday afternoon and we can talk all of the issues that matter. And these issues regard the survival of our country, Liberia. So if you're just coming to join us, it's good to have your presence right on our live. So if you are being with us on our live Facebook feed on Care Communications Network, it's with great pleasure that we can say welcome. And if you come across the video, just share the video that others join the broadcast. It is with great interest we can talk about country. So my name is Maurice Desmond Brown. Of course, I'm here with Josh Quinn, my able producer. So we can do it together this afternoon. It is what it is. Do it together. So welcome, folks. If you are listening to us via the radio on Care Communications Network 95.9, welcome. I just said a friend to tell another friend your radio just got better. And we can do all things through Christ who strengthen us. Yeah. Today is the 19th day of the month of September and the year is 2024. Shortly we'll go around the world and we'll take bits and pieces of news. Yeah, it is important to do that because our continent needs to know that we stay here. Yeah, so shortly we'll go around the world, then we'll come to Africa, and then we'll come to Liberia and talk about the issues that matter. So if you're on the live feed, watching us, just share the video, tell others to join. And those to the radio, you want to join our live Facebook feed, You can catch us up on Care Communications Network. Yeah, so it's just better that you do so. So follow us as well on YouTube and Twitter. So shortly we go around the world, and this is where we go next. Yes, we can get bit and pieces of news for you. Getting bit and pieces of news for you. We'll talk a little bit. Not the 2 hours. So I'm not still well, still feeling this that. Uh, we have to do this for you, but I'm really, really not too well. Let's go to Israel and see what is happening there. I'm told there was an attempt on the life of Benjamin Netanyahu. Israeli arrested over Iran plot to kill Netanyahu. Israeli security service says. An Israeli citizen has been arrested on suspicion of being involved by Iran to assassinate Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other top officials, Israel's security service say. Israeli police intelligence said the man was twice smuggled into Iran and received payment to carry out missions. In a joint statement, they said the suspect was a businessman who had lived in Turkey and had Turkish contacts who had helped get him into Iran. The announcement comes at a time of soaring tension between Iran and Israel, regional arch enemies. The statement said the suspect was not identified, was arrested. It said these targets were the prime minister, the defense minister, and the head of Israel Internal Security Agency, Shandet. Tension is growing gradually. It says that in April and May, the suspect twice traveled to Samandak in Turkey to meet a wanted Iranian business called Eddie and was helped by two Turkish citizens. The statement said Eddie had problems leaving Iran on both occasions, so the Israeli citizen was smuggled from Turkey into Iran instead. It said that the man met both Eddie and Iranian security operatives there. It said he asked Eddie to carry out several security missions within Israel for the Iranian regime. According to the statement, is it transferring money of a gun or a gun, photographing crowd places in Israel and sending them to Iranian elements, and threatening other Israeli citizens who have been recruited by Iran but have not completed their tasks. The Israeli is alleged to have been paid over 5,000 euro, which is around 5,600 United States dollars for the meetings. This is very serious. I get one more for you. The UN General Assembly We're in September and the UN is meeting. Several different meetings are ongoing. The UN General Assembly has adopted a Palestinian drafted non-binding resolution demanding Israel to end its unlawful presence in the occupied Palestinian territory within 12 months. And it's good to say it's not binding because America will always support Israel. I don't know. There were 124 votes in favor and 14 against. Israel, ones with 43 abstentions as a non-member observant state. Palestine will not vote. The resolution is based on a July from the United Nations highest court that said Israel was occupying the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip against international laws. The Palestinian ambassador called the vote a turning point in our struggle for freedom and justice, while Israel's counterpart denounced it as diplomatic terrorism. Although the General Assembly resolutions are not binding, they carry symbolic and political weight, given they reflect the positions of all 193 member states of the UN. It comes after almost a year of war in Gaza, which began when Hamas gunmen attacked Israel on 7th October, killing about 1,200 people and taking about 201 others as hostages. More than 41,110 people have been killed in Gaza since then, according to the territory's Hamas run health ministry. There has also been a spike in violence in the West Bank over the same period, in which the UN says more than 680 Palestinians and 22 Israelis have been killed. Another 10 Israelis have been killed in attack by Palestine in Israel. Let's come to Africa. I look at some bit and pieces of Africa. It's very important for us to do so. Let's go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where they are still battling the monkeypox pandemic. Fear and contagion are spreading in Kamatuga, Eastern DRC, the epicenter of current monkeypox outbreak. It is where the newest variant of the virus was discovered this year. In Kamatuga General Hospital, Diego looked on a health records tender to his young son, emailed, I am doctor of ignorance because I didn't believe that children would get the disease. So yes, it is still serious in DRC. Let's jump to Nigeria, see what is happening in that part of the country as well. Several floods continue to hit northeastern Nigeria. Death toll claims nationwide. Several floods on Wednesday, September 18, continue to ravage northeastern Nigeria, impacting more than 400,000 people, according to the United Nations. In Maiduguri alone, the capital of Borno state. About 15% of the city is underwater. The flooding has worsened the humanitarian crisis in the region, where armed violence has already displaced millions. With our small children, we don't know where to stay now. Government should be sympathetic to allow us to stay a longer time in the camp. Because if we go back to our homes now, we will not have a place to sleep because our children, if we go to somebody's house, we will not feel comfortable. Earlier this month, killed over 30 people in the state after the collapse of, let's see, after the collapse of a major dam. The consequence of floods have killed over 269 in the nation. According to a report published on September 15 by the National Emergency Management Agency, floods have already devastated crops and livestock. It's an absolute tragedy for these local people who had their homes wiped out, said David Stevenson, World Food Programming representative in Nigeria. Stevenson added that the flooding has represented yet another challenge for internally displaced people in the region and who would have already been made vulnerable by the violence in the region. Authorities have warned of possible flooding in 11 states following the release of a dam in neighboring Cameroon. West Africa has experienced some of the heaviest flooding in decades this year, affecting over 2 million people. Let's take one more, then we can come back to talk about the issues that really do matter. We are told that protest is still ongoing in Ghana. Can we look at it? Ghana opposition NDC stages protest voter rolls irregularities. An ambiguous opposition party held nationwide protests in regional capitals across the country, demanding an audit of the voter roll for the general elections set for December. Millions of supporters of the National Democratic Congress Party, the people's main opposition party, participating in protests across the country. We are not seeking for a big favor from the Electoral Commission. We are demanding a right to free and fair elections. Johnson stated, the chairman of the National Democratic Congress Party, told members before the protest march in Accra. The NDC claimed that nearly 300,000 anonymous have been, including illegal transfer of voters' name and the removal of names from the register without their knowledge. Its independent audit, we say that let the UNDP facilitate it. It is too hard or difficult. Is it difficult because the EC has something to hide? Boma, the NDC director of elections. Well, we hope that all of these things can settle, the dust can settle, because it is now clear that Africa might be going through elections and all of this stuff. A lot of countries going through elections in Africa this year. A few countries are going to elections. We are hoping that the elections can be very, very peaceful. Very, 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 very peaceful. We know sometimes it can be very, very challenging. It can be very, very challenging. Um, can be very, very challenging at times, and we are hoping that it can get better. But again, welcome, folks, wherever you are. If you're in Monserrado, thanks for joining us. If you're in uh, out of the 17 electoral districts, we want to say thank you. Put it in the 16, 16. So if you're in out of the electoral districts in Monserrado, we want to say thanks for joining us. I know it is sometimes somewhat difficult. Today is rainy and the internet is actually bad. George, I'll just think you should cut off the live. It's really terrible. It's bad.